Hi, so this is Jade Productions. This will be one of the first videos you will see. I will record 10 before I do publish these, so you'll see this with hopefully 9 other more videos. So this is Jade Production. I will be going by Jade. I'm making this just as a little creative outlet. I really enjoy reading books, watching movies and TV shows of all genres. My number one book style I will be talking about though is fantasy, romance, young adult to adult. I am in my 20s, so some of my books will not be appropriate for middle schoolers. I will be talking about the book I will be talking about in this video, which is a newer book called Fourth Wing. It came out, I believe, in 2023. I will double check that. But it came out in 2023. And it's not really adult, but I would not have a middle schooler reading it. There are some spicy scenes, so I wouldn't recommend reading it if you really don't like spicy scenes, which no problem with that. I've read books without those. Let me know of book series you want me to possibly talk about after you've watched this video. There are multiple I have read, and I'm open to talk about them. And I'm also very interested in finding new books to read, and maybe even new movies and TV shows. So in this one, I will be talking about Fourth Wing, and possibly Iron Flame, which is the sequel to Fourth Wing. It is a series, I will preface that. I think the author said, sorry, that was my cat. I have 2 cats. An orange one, Link, and a brown one, Zelda. You're gonna hear them in the background, so I'm just gonna preface them now. I believe the author, though, for Fourth Wing said she wants to have 4 books total. The third is going to be released January 15th of 2025. So have a little while to wait. I am about to finish Iron Flame, but let's just get into talking about the book. As I'm talking, I will be doing my nails. I have recently bought a poly nail gel nail extension kit because I have a nail hobby also. I have recently just been dabbling in like nail art and just painting my nails and some press-ons recently. I'm a college student, so I do not have the money to go get my nails done. But yeah, so you will be seeing me trying to figure out how to do my nails as we talk about Fourth Wing. So, spoilers, if you haven't read Fourth Wing and it is on your TBR list, I will be talking about the characters and possible spoilers. I will try to keep my language, PG. I will not be swearing or cursing, so if you are younger, you can still watch. I won't talk about the spicy scenes. Just know that they are in the book. If you do like that, if you don't, prefacing. If you've read A Court of Thorns and Roses, it's on the spice level of, I'd say, the 2nd and 3rd book, not the 4th book. It is not on the level of spice as Silver Flame. So, take that as you will. Anyway, so Fourth Wing, in my opinion, is like a mix, like How to Train Your Dragons, the movies, had a child with Divergent, okay? It's very much so like a group of kids are following this government, and a rebellion has already failed once, and no one really knows why they decided to have a rebellion. It's not really taught in their history classes. Which our main character, Violet, starts to pick up on once she meets her love interest, Xaden. It's spelled with an X. If I'm pronouncing the names wrong, let me know down in the comments. I pronounced Rhysand's name wrong the first time I read the book, and I didn't pick up on how the nickname would have been weird as Rice. I don't know. But just let me know if I'm pronouncing the names wrong down below. But yeah, so we start off with following Violet, and it's conscription day. Okay, so in their society, they have these different, it's kind of like factions, but they have these different groups that they have to join and get into. And you typically don't have to really survive or test into them. There's no like life or death happening in any of them except for the riders. And she doesn't want to be a rider. She's wanted to be a scribe her whole life, like her father. Her father has passed. As the reader, we really don't know. I think it says he died of a broken heart, but we really don't know who's actually dead in these books, because you'll find out when I talk about the second book. No, the end of the first book, when I get there. But, sorry, I'm rambling. But, starts off with conscription day, and she has to cross this thing called a parapet, which is basically a really long, I'm trying to think what it's called in gymnastics. Balance beam. It's a really long balance beam, but it's up in the air. Like, it's at the top of these buildings that they have to cross, or mountains. It doesn't really, I'm pretty sure it's buildings. And if you fall off, you die. You fall and you die, and that's basically just how you get welcomed into this world. Like, it starts off there right away. It starts off with her sister yelling at her mom and saying she should be a scribe. How dare you, like, forcing her to do this. You know she's gonna die. She's not built like me and Brennan. And you've already lost one kid, so Brennan has died. And we do know that that is from fighting somewhere. He was a writer. I'm sorry, I don't remember the name. I really should have wrote the names down. Sorry. But, so he died, and the whole family has gone through that loss, and then the dad died shortly after, and they assume it's from the stress of losing his one and only son. So Violet has to go through this. So her sister, Mira, is giving her a rundown. She gives her a vest that ends up becoming very, very important to the story, that is made up of Mira's dragon's scales. I'm trying to remember the name of her dragon. I think it's Tina. A lot of the dragon names very similar. So as you're reading, if you get the names mixed up with the dragons, just remember who their writers are. That's my advice for the book, because the names will get mixed up unless you're just better than me, I guess. When I read books, I get the names mixed up, but I get the gist of the story, and that's what matters. So Mira gives her this like corset vest that is made out of dragon scales. And she also gives her rider boots that have more traction, which is important for the power pet because it is supposed to rain. And she makes her dress in flying leathers because whatever you take across the power pet, that is what you get. Up until, oh no. Gauntlet. And then it's, oh no. Thrashing? The thrashing, I believe, is what it's called. So there's these levels, And it's basically, if you survive your first year, you should be good. But first stuff's parapet. So she gives her all this stuff to prepare for parapet. She tells her, whatever you fit in your bag, drop it. Like, if your bag is about to fall off the parapet, you drop it because your life's more important than everything you have in that. So Violet's like, okay, of course, I'm listening. So she goes across the parapet, and her sister told her, when you get across there, go to Dane, which you find out, you don't know about him at the beginning, but you do find out when she meets him, they have been childhood friends, and they've grown up together since she was 5, he was 6, she's 20 as she's crossing this parapet, so that would mean he's 21, I believe. So her sister says, find Dane and stay away from Xaden, because his dad's the one who led the rebellion, and all the kids of the parents who led the rebellion are forced to be riders, and they all want revenge on our family because our mom is the one who carried out the executions of their parents. So she's like, okay. When she gets across the parapet, first person she sees is Xaden, and she's like, she doesn't know who it is. Her inner monologue, I kid you not, is just like, wow, he's so hot. Like, I've never seen anyone more attractive. And she's just talking about, like, his muscles and all that. Not going to get into all the descriptions. But she basically just talks about his muscles and how he's not just, like, hot, but he's also, like, beautiful. And then she sees the rebellion mark, or the relic mark on his neck, which symbolizes that he is a child of the rebellion. And she's like, oh no, don't tell me. And he goes, I'm Xaden. And she's like, and she's like, I'm Violet Surgale. I believe is how you pronounce her last name. Again, I'm gonna have pronunciations wrong, and I'm sorry. So she gets across that parapet. She survives. Yippee! Before that, she meets a girl named Rihanna. It's Rhiannon. It's spelled weird. I think it's Rihanna. She calls her Rhi. R-H-I. And she sees her boots have no friction. So she trades one of her boots for her boots. So they each have one foot that will have traction on this parapet. Spoiler alert, they both live. Okay. So they both live, and it's all good. However, there's this one guy named Jack Barlow who also doesn't like Violet. It never explains why he doesn't like Violet. It's not like he's a kid of the rebellion or anything. He just chooses to not like her. And if I'm jumping all over the place, it's because there's a lot of information. And I want to get it out there, so you understand why I'm mad about certain characters. Yeah. So it never really explains why he doesn't like Violet. I think it's literally just because of her name. And because of her family. But it's not because his family was, like, wronged by her family or anything like that. It is strictly just because her mom's, like, what's that called? A general. So, like, the head of everything, you know? So it's not really, like, she's not liked for anything, like, real specific. I really don't know. Sorry. That is, like, in your face. That is a close-up of my hand. But, yeah, it's really not explained why he doesn't, like her. Okay, I cannot multitask, clearly. So, he's, like, trying to kill her. He tried to shove her off the parapet so she would fall to her death. We'll get into it. So she crosses, yay. She fell down the parapet, and she hurt her knee. And Dane takes her up to his room, helps her wrap her knee, takes her back down, and says, I'm going to find a way to get you back to the scribes, because you're not going to survive in here. He has, quite literally, zero faith in her. Okay? And at first, you're like, oh my word, He's so sweet. He wants her to follow her dreams and live out her life and just yay. And he likes her. You think that, right? You would think that. No. He becomes one of the most annoying characters. But don't all the first love interests in every book? So she thinks she's in love with him also. She thinks they will have more. So she's following him. She goes, yeah, you'll find a way for me to get back to Scribes. Whatever, yay. So then, after Power Pet, the second thing they have to accomplish is challenges, which is just randomly paired them to like fight hand on hand. They can kill each other. So knives are involved. Your signet powers, which is a power you can get if you're a second year, because that means you bonded with a dragon. So, hi everybody, sorry, this is me on a different day. I realized as editing, I forgot to record an outro. So, yeah, this is the end of part 1. I will get, more into the challenges, and then I will be talking about challenges and I believe Gauntlet in the next video, and then the last video will be specifically threshing and the end of after threshing. Yeah, so I didn't want to make my first video like 30 minutes long, so that's why I ended up splitting them up. But yeah, hope you enjoyed. If you liked this style of video, but let me know down in the comments. If you didn't and you'd prefer more like ranting than recap, also let me know down in the comments. Obviously I'm new to this, so yeah, hope you all enjoyed. Thank you for watching.